known at the time as just Rudra, was born millennia ago as a prince of the Nazca kingdom with the ambition to unite the entire world. At some point, he was taken under the tutelage of Veldanava, who trained him to be a chosen hero that could rival Guy Crimson. Over the course of the many years of his training, he obtained both the unique skill Chosen One and the ultimate skill Yuri. He was also blessed by the elementals and their queen, awakening as a true hero sometime after. Before his first confrontation with Guy, Veldanava approached him and proposed that they trade ultimate skills, his Uriel for Veldanava's Michael. Rudra accepted the offer and received Michael, a skill better suited for his dream of unifying the world. Rudra, you see, he reached his limits long ago. He reincarnated himself so many times that it wore his soul out. What you see there is Rudra, but it's also not. He's long been replaced by Michael, Lord of Justice. Rudra once held pure and idealistic dreams of creating a perfect world where disputes could be settled with words rather than violence. The man with these naive ideals was slowly corroded away over time as Michael's control took control over his mind, his exhausted soul being chipped away by repeated rebirths, only serving to exacerbate the problem. Eventually, nothing more remained than an echo of his former self, a complete thrall to Michael that was imparted with the harsh ideologies of absolute justice and might make right. You speak of the anticipation, yes?
Correct. If we allow that city to continue to expand at its current course with all the guarantees,
That would be troublesome. After all, we're aiming to secure total victory in the next Great Tenma War.
agradable.
Feldway grieved and hated humans on Earth. No, not just humans. Not just humans, but elves, dwarves, beastmen, and even Majin. He hated all demi-humans, that is to say, all of humanity. So he wanted to destroy them. The people who took Veldanava from us don't deserve to live. He would unite the world Veldanava had created with his own hands. And then he would condemn those who have committed the greatest crimes. That was Feldway's conclusion. He would take the world favored by the god Veldanava and dye it into his own color. He would destroy its diversity in order to create a world of his own. Lord Veldanava, if you want to punish me, then punish me. That is what I want. Now hurry, or there will be no more worlds. As the head of the 7 primordial angels, he was the leader of the group, and all the responsibilities fell upon his shoulders. All decisions were left to Feldway's will, without the possibility of consulting others. When Veldanava left, there was no way to escape the pressure. To everyone's dismay, Feldway remained at the forefront as a leader. It was inevitable that Feldway, who made all the decisions on his own, would be out of step with his colleagues. Feldway's fault was that he did not care about what his colleagues thought. The accumulation of such a situation led to discord, and without Feldway realizing it, he gradually lost grip of the group. As a result, the group lost their cohesiveness. Whether it was fortunate or unfortunate, Feldway was unaware of this reality. After several hundred years, there was no sign of Veldanava's return. Feldway wondered why. Then a thought occurred to him. Could it be that Veldanava has abandoned us? Otherwise, there was no explanation for the fact that the supposedly immortal True Dragon had not returned. If he was right, Feldway grieved and hated. Humans on Earth. No, not just humans, but elves, dwarves, beastmen, and even Majin. He hated all demi-humans, that is to say, all of humanity. So he wanted to destroy them. The people who took Veldanava from us don't deserve to live. He would unite the world Veldanava had created with his own hands. And then he would condemn those who have committed the greatest crimes. That was Feldway's conclusion. before the beginning of the very beginning, beyond the constraints of existence itself, an all-powerful, all-knowing, and all-encompassing oneness that just was. In an effort to bring itself entertainment, it sought to create other worlds, with space for them to occupy, and time for them to experience events sequentially, along with 6 other attributes that later came to be known as the Great Holy Spirits and the Void. But this was incomplete. God was perfect, omniscient, and such. He couldn't be surprised. And for this problem, it decided to create for itself an avatar, a lesser, imperfect existence of its own, a part of itself, to experience the joy it could not feel itself. And that avatar was what would later come to be known as the Creator, Veldanava. Made sure the world will progress without me, and even in my absence, they can fend for themselves. That's why knowing I will die anytime soon isn't so bad. Veldanava laughed, saying he never had to deal with a lifespan until now, but to him it feels like a gift.